On today's show, Joe Sixpack is going to endeavor to open one of these with one of these. I, however, am going to open one of these with one of these.
I once drank beer in a brew pub at the North Pole under the Northern Lights. What's the coolest place you've ever had a beer in?
Not that cool, but today I'm at a cool place. Triumph Brewing Company in New Hope with Joe Sixpack. I'm Glen Macnow for What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Montco Makers, powered by the Valley Forge Tourism Convention Board. Download the app. By Visit Bucks County. Travel the Bucks County Ale Trail. Check in digitally to 5 or more breweries to score a free t-shirt. Get your passport at visitbuckscounty.com. And by the Conshohocken Brewing Company. Visit conchohockenbrewing.com for the latest releases, location hours, menus, and online store.
When you can actually see the craftsmanship that went into making something, you're transported back to a simpler time.
There's nothing quite like the feeling of freedom that you get riding in the open cockpit of a biplane.
Like the many Pennsylvania plein air artists who came before me, I found inspiration for my art in the hills and the valleys of Bucks County. Bucks County is my home.
Bucks County is my home.
And Bucks County is my home. Visit Bucks County, where home feels like a getaway.
Hi, welcome to What's Brewing. He's Joe Sixpack. I'm Glen Macnow. We're at the Triumph Brewing Company in New Hope. Boy, what a great place this is.
It is. It's been a little while since I've been up here. They're making some really fine beers. We're going to talk about the variety of beer here in a little bit, but wow, Czech lager.
Right, which is what we're starting with. They make a Czech lager, which is? Since
I
I haven't tried it, you have.
Right,
Go
well,
ahead.
this is a dark Czech lager, and it's not unlike, it has its roots in the Pilsners, those kinds of light, enjoyable beers that we've had many times on the show, but Czech lagers tend to be a little bit more in body, and obviously they make darker ones as well. Really a great kind of beer. We're seeing a little bit more in the Philadelphia area.
All right, and that is our swap for today. Coincidentally, Czech lager, so I brought you Moat Mountain Brewing Company Czech Pilsner. You'll explain the difference, Pilsner lager in a second, from Mount Washington, New Hampshire. Really nice cellar. To be honest with you, I got this right at the end of the summer. I'm hoping it's still working for us.
A little cloudy, which is typical of this style because it's not filtered, and that gives the beer a little bit more body.
I'll give this a try. I'll tell you all about it. Yeah, it's crisp the way I expect a lager to be.
It's crisp. I can tell it's not quite as fresh as we would have expected.
I bought it at the end of August. It's what I had in the beer fridge. Made with Bavarian Pilsner malt, German Vienna and German Munich malt, German lager yeast, German Tettnang hops. Suggested food pairing: Thai, curries, shellfish, chicken, barbecue, pizza, sharp cheese, basically everything.
Really?
Apparently, eat it with whatever you like. What do you think?
So it's a nice beer. Obviously, it's a light version of this, but it's basically made the same way. The key being in most breweries that are making this is through a decoction method of brewing, in which you
Concoction?
Decoction. Exactly. Where you boil a portion of the mash and add it to the rest of the mash, and that brings the temperature up. And it's said that it provides a fuller body, a fuller flavor to the beer.
All right. Again, lager, Pilsner, to me, they're interchangeable, but there's got to be some distinction I'm not seeing.
Right. To me, the idea of this Czech lager is that it's going to have a bit more body and a fuller flavor than your typical Pilsner, which is made specifically as more of a refreshing drink as opposed to the full flavor that you're going to get out of this style.
Good. All right, so what do you got?
So this is a beer that's going to be similar to the one we're drinking here from New Hope, from Triumph New Hope. This is another dark lager. It's from the Penthe Brewing down in Baltimore.
Okay.
So you can see it's very much the same
New to me, yeah.
color. It was new for me. I was actually down that area not long ago and picked it up in the vicinity.
Yeah, I like that too. It's got a little more heft to it than this.
It does,
but nice.
I got to tell you, this one on draft tastes much fresher.
Yeah, I vote for this one.
And really a full body.
This is the one.
Very enjoyable.
Come to Triumph and try this one.
Yeah.
Okay, I brought you a couple others just to show you. This is the Wacker's Bohemian Pilsner. I know we've had something from Wacker's
We had
before
that one
the show.
on
This was it.
a couple
Okay.
years ago, yeah.
There you go. And this, Pilsner Urquell.
The original Czech lager, or Czech Pilsner anyway.
It is the real Czech Pilsner.
So here's the thing, when you go, next time you go to Prague and you go there,
first time.
you won't see Pilsner advertised on the tap list. You'll see instead Czech lager, because Pilsner Urquell is more of a brand name.
Okay. And by the way, this bottle will be making an appearance later in the show for other purposes.
Okay, I can't wait for
All
that.
right. Let's get to some of the news of the day, and some of it involves Conshohocken Brewing Company. You know, I'm part of that group. We just put out a charity beer, very excited about this, called Zooisms with Mark Zumoff. See that picture right there?
I love that. It's a great cartoon.
And a big percentage of the profits goes to his charity, the charity he's involved with, Philadelphia Youth Basketball. Very excited about that. And if you look at the can, my friend, what do you see?
Yeah, I see the Zooisms that are printed there.
Yeah.
I love that. Fighting the good fight, turning garbage into gold, which was a classic.
That was a great one of his. So we're excited about this, and again, it's a nice charity thing. Oh, and other news, and this is a sad note, a real important person in the beer community passed away.
I think we need to mention it because Bill Muller was one of those icons in local brewing. He passed away at the age of 95, ripe old age, and he was the head brewer at both Schmidt's and Ortlieb's before they went out of business. But more importantly, at least to people drinking beer today, is that he helped design some of the craft beers that we enjoy. Beers from Brooklyn Brewing, their lager, and Dock Street's Bohemian Pilsner, both designed by Bill. And Google him. It's worth checking out his guy's life. He was quite a character.
Bill, we salute you. We did with a beer, which would be appropriate.
Yes.
Coming up, yeah, he drank beer in the Arctic Circle. I didn't, but I once did have a beer at the oldest pub in Dublin. I think it was like 900 years old, which was very cool. We ask you, what's the coolest place you ever hoisted a beer? He's Joe Sixpack. I'm Glen Macnow with the Triumph Brewing Company in beautiful New Hope for What's Brewing.
You don't have to go away to get away. Go and explore. Find the small businesses that make where you live a community. When you dine, choose homemade. On a free weekend, discover the great outdoors. And if it's brewed here, enjoy it with friends. Support small for an experience you won't find anywhere else. Make it local, make it Main Street, make it Modco.
Welcome back to What's Brewing. Joe Sixpack, Glen Macnow at the Triumph Brewing Company in beautiful New Hope, Bucks County. I am drinking an orange wheat. What a way to start the day. It's my orange juice for the morning.
Good, healthy. This is the Munich Dunkel.
Nice.
Another lager. You know, I'm a big fan, dark lager.
You are a big fan of the dark lager. So here's the story of the day. There is a remote island half a mile off the coast of northern England, seals basking on the shore, a 14th century castle, 6 cottages, and a pub, Joe Sixpack. And they need somebody basically to live there year-round, operate the pub. They do a big tourism business in the summer, in the winter, nothing. The person who had done it for the last 20 years said, like, I'm retiring. They needed to find somebody. They advertised worldwide to find the landlord or king of the island. And so that's the question. Would you? You got to live there year-round, and there's not much going on in the winter, but you got to mow the 80 acres.
Yeah, that's the problem. The fine print's always the issue, isn't it? I could do it maybe for one summer.
All right, I think it just sounds really cool that it's like your island. So we asked our viewers, what's the coolest place you ever drank a beer? And you kind of like out of the box put me to shame. Go ahead, go ahead.
Well, how about under the Northern Lights? It wasn't the North Pole, it was about 1,300 miles from the North Pole, but at the northernmost town in all of Europe, in Honigsvåg, Norway. There's a brew pub there, and I went there one year to brew beer on the solstice, longest night of the year. A lot of fun, and the Northern Lights are spectacular when you're drinking beer.
You're living the life there. All right, my coolest was I went to a place called Brazen Head, which was the oldest pub in Dublin, dating back to 1198. And fortunately, they had cleaned the floors once or twice since then. But it was very cool. So We asked our viewers to give us the coolest place they ever had a beer. I want to run these by you, get your quick response. Ready? Rick Orner says one of the strangest places was drinking Augustine Brau Dunkel in a German restaurant in Shanghai while singing karaoke. Sweet Caroline being that's worldwide, right?
Of course it is, yeah. I've been to the Augustiner Brewery in Munich, but not in Shanghai.
Not in Shanghai?
That sounds memorable.
John McHugh, drinking beer after beer while sailing through the Straits of Gibraltar on a 42-foot sailboat, terrified and praying the massive container ships would see us and not just plow into us. Spain, the Gibraltar monkeys, and Moroccan Atlas Mountains were worth the ride. That would be so cool.
Drinking while sailing, though, I'm a little bit worried
Well, I don't know if he was
that.
operating the boat, but whatever. Yeah, this one, and look at here's a picture for this one. We got the art. Next to a canvas tent by a fire in the plains of the Serengeti. With my wife and a guide, we could hear the animals in the distance. That night, a lion walked through the camp and we were all asleep. Smelled like a butcher's block.
That's impressive. Yeah, that's the great thing about these memories is that you probably do. Each one of these people probably remembers exactly the beer that they were drinking.
Yeah, well, again, I don't know if you ever had. What did I say it was? I forget what the
Castle
beer was.
beer. Yeah,
you ever had that one? Never had that one.
It's a mainstream beer. I've only had it once, but it probably tasted really good.
All right, a couple more quick ones. Vince Passio, 2008. Cubadak Island in Indonesia. We spent a weekend while visiting Singapore. The resort had about a dozen huts on the beach, people from all over the world. I was playing cards, drinking beer, people from Russia singing folk songs in the corner, French people having an after-dinner drink.
What a lovely night.
Right?
Again, really totally memorable. Isn't it fun how beer is just part of that whole
Right,
experience?
it brings people together,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's what's so great. All right, Pete Carilla. Pete says, had a few cold O'Keeffes way up north on a river in northern Ontario. Once the sun went down, I like this just because this is one I think we can all touch on. Northern Ontario, lake in northern Ontario, the sun went down. We could get the Phillies on the radio. Later in the evening, had a few cold ones listening to Steve Fredericks. I love Steve Fredericks, right?
Absolutely.
That's a cool
Yeah,
memory.
yeah.
Michael Siders, I had beer and ice mugs in an ice bar. And look at this picture, man. An ice bar in Stockholm. Everything is ice. He said it's like the Flintstones, except ice chairs, ice bar, ice glasses, everything.
That's cool. I've always wanted to do that. That's like
I've never heard of that.
absolutely.
That's a thing?
Yeah, you see them up there, near the North Pole. It's it looks like a lot of fun.
I think that is great. And finally, Leo Dale, U.S. Embassy Bar in Abu Dhabi. On this bar in a cave. You'll see the picture here of the cave in Croatia. Ever drink beer in a cave? I'm afraid of caves.
Really?
Yeah, caves give me the creeps. People go caving, it's like, no, I'm out. I'm completely out.
Okay.
All right, coming up, I am going to endeavor to open this with this. At least I'm going to try. We're at the Triumph Brewing Company in New Hope. Joe Sixpack, Glen Macnow. What's brewing? Glen Macnow here with Andrew Colligan from Conshohocken Brewing Company. Let's run down the new lineup of exciting beers, starting with Type A.
Our #1 selling beer, big citrus hop notes and nice dry finish, the quintessential American IPA.
Ring the Bell Pilsner.
And that's our fastest growing brand. It's a smooth, easy drinking pilsner to enjoy during a game.
Life Coach.
Hazy, 100% citra hop session IPA, the perfect beer for all day at the golf course or the pool.
Puddler's Row ESP.
That's our malty, roasty English pub ale, 2 silver medals at the World Beer Cup, maybe the best English ale in the country.
MC5, my favorite.
Double dry hopped IPA, it's all the juicy goodness you want in a hazy IPA.
Philly Vice.
It's our rotating series of fruited sours, light and easy drinking.
Mr. Robusto.
Dark chocolatey porter, perfect dark beer for a cold winter's night.
All exciting beers. Enjoy them all and a whole lot more at Conshohocken Brewing Company's 5 PA locations and wherever fine beer is sold.
Cheers.
Welcome back to What's Brewing from the Triumph Brewing Company in New Hope. I am enjoying this chocolate milk stout. Joe, What you got?
Same beer. It's good.
All
Real good.
right. What happens if you have bottles of beer and you don't have a bottle opener? Well, let's get a close-up here. When I was in college and dumb and stupid, I once opened a bottle of beer with my teeth. That shift right there is evidence of it. I did open the bottle, but I did lose some enamel.
Weird thing about that bottle was it was a twist-off. Right?
Ta-da! So I found an article, 14 ways you can open a beer bottle if you don't have an opener.
Okay.
One is to use a dollar bill.
All
I am
right.
going to
I
try
gotta see
this.
this.
I know. I am going to try this right now. Basically, you take a dollar bill, you fold it in half. Hopefully you can see this. You roll it up. Oh, this is taking you back to your college days right now, isn't it? Look at that. You've done this a few times, haven't you?
They're a little tight.
All right, you roll this as tight as you can. There you go. And then, okay, you make a loop out of it. And this is what it said. I have
Okay.
not tried this, okay?
All right.
You grab the bottle of beer. You use your thumb as a fulcrum. You do this, and it pops right open.
Pops right open.
Pops right open. I am not doing that. All right, what do you got?
Glenn,
I can't. Oh, I ripped the dollar.
I don't know why you're screwing around with a piece of paper. A hammer. That's the way to go.
Oh, okay. Really?
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to do
that
this.
was one of the ways they
Okay.
said.
Hopefully without.
Oh, I thought you were going to
We're not
pound
going to
it.
pound. We'll see how much damage.
Oh, we're
I do
really
with
good at this. As you can see, we didn't practice this much.
Okay,
Oh, go ahead.
not
I'm
at
sorry.
all.
Yep.
Whoops.
Yeah, take two.
Try it one more time here.
Whoa! Nicely done. Well,
There we
well
go.
done. All right. I can't leave embarrassed. So one of the other ways it said is you can open a bottle, a little spillage.
There's a little spillage with
Open a
that.
bottle with a bottle. Grab this part by the top of the neck. Take the other one. Hold it down here. Ow.
Glenn.
Well, I'm just doing what it said. There's no freaking way I can do any of these things. All right. I'm out.
Here.
What do you got?
Here, try this.
There you go. Thank
right.
you. Whoa, I got the
Yeah,
same
that's
problem as you. Oh, my Pilsner Urquell is a mess. We apologize to the people here at the fine Triumph Brewing Company for the mess we have created. Anyway, we will clean this up. Other ways you can open a bottle, by the way, another beer, that's a lie. Tree branch, ring. Oh, I should have tried. I'm sure my wife would have been delighted if I
Yeah,
tried my wedding
exactly.
ring. Countertop, belt buckle, door. I've done a door. That I have done. All of these I can't do. Yeah, you know what? Go with this. That's the smart way. All right, let's get to this. Sam Stafford, who does some fine work for us, and our sponsors, by the way, the Bucks County Ale Trail. Well, they've got a thing, visit the wineries beginning in April to spot an artist. Artists will be participating in wineries, creating the works of art to be displayed at the wineries, and on the free set of fine art note cards next October, this coming October. While visiting the wineries, you may be lucky enough to spot an artist at work. Sam went to Crossing Vineyards, a 200-year-old estate, for this report.
Glenn, Don, today we're in Washington Crossing, Pennsylvania at Crossing Vineyards, and I'm with Tom Carroll, president, co-founder, and co-owner of Crossing Vineyards.
Yes, the three amigos. So it's me, my mom, and my dad. So yeah, the three of us are co-partners, co-founders in this awesome enterprise.
One of the coolest things about Crossing Vineyards is you guys own this property way before 2000 when you started the vineyard. And can you give us more of the history and the backstory of Crossing Vineyards?
Well, the history is amazing, and it goes all the way back to the late 1700s. But we moved here in the mid 80s, so we started the winery in 2000. And it's been a wild ride. The idea, believe it or not, goes all the way back to when I was 10 years old. And I was sitting around the dining room table, I think I was eating breakfast, eating my Cheerios, and I said to my parents, wouldn't this property make a great vineyard and winery? My dad looked at me and he said, shut up, eat your Cheerios, you know? And assumed I was joking, but it was an idea that always was in the back of my mind. For me, it was always about family. It was always about returning to the Delaware Valley. I have a huge family here, and I thought, what a better way, move back to the family farm, start this enterprise with my parents, and 22 years of growing grapes and making wine right here in Washington Crossing, right in your backyard. And it's not something people think of. They think of California or other regions in the world, but this has actually become a premier grape growing region.
So can you kind of talk about why it's becoming more common?
I think it's just one of these things where the soil's perfect, the conditions are perfect, there's a variety of conditions throughout the state, and down here in the Southeast, we can grow just about anything. So from your light whites like Chardonnay and Riesling, all the way through to your Cabernets. So we're a very versatile region, growing region. So.
Now, talking about the location itself, what are some of the things that if people come to visit here that they can expect to see?
So, the big thing people do when they come here, it's to hang out on the property, right? So it's kind of to escape their daily life. It's almost like we describe this property, it's almost like Camelot. It's like a place where it never rains, the weather is always beautiful, We have a crazy event schedule. There's always something going on at Crossing Vineyards. So if you go to the website, you can see our list of events. Usually live music, no cover charge every weekend. We do a concert series during the summer. We have lots of wine education classes. We just rolled out a few summers ago, wine and yoga. So people can come, they can do some yoga, they can enjoy some light bites and wine. A great way to kick off the weekend.
And you mentioned your website, crossingvineyards.com, but you guys have also expanded a lot. So where can everybody find Crossing Vineyards wine?
So we have been fortunate. We're kind of all over the place now. So we're in the state stores, which is fantastic. We're in many of your local supermarkets. We also have 5 satellite store locations in towns like Dublin, New Hope, Brightstown. So we have many satellite locations where you can find our wine, and of course, online. So if you visit our website, we have an online store. You can just order online and we will ship it right to your door.
As you heard, you can get this wine anywhere, but I highly suggest coming out to Crossing Vineyards and seeing this beautiful view and getting some great wine.
But you know what? That looks beautiful, Sam. Great report. Thank you. While visiting the wineries, look for one of the outdoor art reproductions on display at the vineyards. After checking into 3 or more participating wineries along the Wine and Ale Trail, you will also be entered to win one of these fine reproductions displayed at the wineries. With Joe Sixpack. Oh, what do you got?
I got their T-shirt here.
Oh, there you go.
The Bucks County Ale Trail T-shirt.
Beautiful stuff. I have one of those at home, as a matter of fact. He's Joe Sixpack. I'm a soggy Glen Macnow. We're at the Triumph Brewing Company in New Hope. What's brewing? Welcome back to What's Brewing from the Triumph Brewing Company in New Hope. We're here with the head brewer, Jeff Eaton. By the way, I just want to clarify one thing. It is the Bucks County Wine and Art Trail that will be opening up a new project in Bucks County. It's going to be terrific. All right, Jeff, you're the head brewer here. I know you guys come in cans, not bottles, and on the tap. Anybody ever try to open a bottle of beer with this?
I've never seen that, but
what do you got? What do you use?
As a brewer, I always have a knife
clippers?
in my pocket.
What is that? Oh, it's
a little knife, and it actually has a built-in bottle opener. So,
all right. So the professionals come well prepared.
There you go.
All the time.
So we've got a lot of beer from Triumph here, and I pretty well have tried all of them. What's your favorite of the? And I know it's always a tough question to ask.
Yeah, who's your favorite child?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Luckily, I only have one. My favorite beer is probably the Keller Pils.
The Keller Pils.
It's one of our flagship beers. It's a young, unfiltered German-style Pilsner. It's got a nice little bite to it, a little bitterness. It's just, I don't know. It's a classic. Brewer's favorite is good old lager beer.
How popular is it?
It's actually pretty popular. I'd say it's one of our top-selling beers. Right behind IPAs.
Aha! Which leads to my question. We walked in here, right? 7 beers on the chart. Ooh, so many decisions to make. 2 of the 7 IPAs, which goes against the trend these days. Most places I walk into, the menu is at least half IPAs. Are you guys the iconoclasts? Is this what you do well? Obviously, you're out of the norm with that.
So Triumph's been open since '95. I think we pride ourselves on doing traditional ales and lagers. But we also like to experiment and play around with kind of the funkier stuff and challenge ourselves. I mean, don't get us, we definitely do some hazy IPAs. But we really pride ourselves on our lagers and traditional ales.
And your customers know that, your customers appreciate that.
Yeah, we always want to make sure there's something on tap for everybody that everybody's going to enjoy, whether it's a dark beer, a lager beer, a fruit beer, IPAs. So that's really our main focus here.
Okay. Give us a little bit about your background, Jeff. How did you get into this business?
Drinking craft beer, to be honest.
Good start.
In that case, I'm a master brewer.
I was living in Colorado, and a buddy of mine was looking to hire an assistant, and it kind of took off from there. And
Boy, there's a dream job for me.
Been
Get to drink
brewing
beer
for
a living.
been brewing for about 9 years now.
So, how long have you been here at Triumph?
A little over 2 years.
A little over 2 years. This location goes back to 2003, correct?
Yep.
But your other location in Princeton is the original. You're actually moving locations there, correct?
Yeah, so our original brewery in Princeton that opened in '95 is moving to the old Princeton post office. So stay tuned with opening dates on that, but hopefully sometime.
You can't reveal anything for us right now?
You know.
Okay. All right, so let's bring people to New Hope. Let's get out with this. First of all, it's a beautiful facility you have here. 2 floors, really spacious, great views on both sides. Parking, yeah, everything you want, and great beer. Jeff, give us like the hours, how people get here. Let's bring them here.
We're here Wednesday to Sunday right now, 11:30 till whenever it closes. Yeah, there's plenty of parking here. It's paid metered parking. Don't bother trying to park on the street. That's impossible. So just park in the big lot over here and stop in for a pint.
And a full menu as well?
Yeah, we do. Our food menu changes all the time. We source local, fresh, seasonal ingredients.
Thus Glen's hat there, no farms, no food.
That's right.
I like it. This is really good.
Love the food
good
here.
stand.
Always doing new stuff, and it's really delicious.
Well, love the food. I love the beer. Joe Sixpack and I have enjoyed our time here. Jeff, thank you so much, you and everybody else here, for having us at Triumph Brewing Company. We will see you next week. Thanks for joining us. Joe Sixpack, Glen Macnow on What's Brewing.
What's Brewing is brought to you in part by Moncomb Makers, powered by the Valley Forge Tourism Convention Board. Download the app. By Visit Bucks County. Travel the Bucks County Ale Trail. Check in digitally to 5 or more breweries to score a free t-shirt. Get your passport at visitbuckscounty.com. And by the Conshohocken Brewing Company. Visit conshahockenbrewing.com for the latest releases, location hours, menus, and online store.